As Season 20 is coming to an end, we have seen one team rise to the top, and that team is a triple Lunge team. There are 4 triple Lunge teams in the top 10 of this season. So let's see how good this team is versus other meta builds. And the person that is currently leading the charge when it comes to triple lunges is Terzike, who is currently rank 1 in Axie Infinity with 3,646 MMR, and he's running the triple dusk, triple lunge, double Goda team. A very, very solid team. So let's jump into game number 1 and see how this team does. And in the first game, Terzike is facing off versus a very standard planned double aqua team with Kaikuya at the back, but just focusing in on the triple lunge team, you do see a double Cattail as well. And the reason for this double Cattail is that when you have double Goda, you kind of force your opponent to play into you, otherwise he's going to lose energy. And when he plays into you, you can kind of easily predict when you should play your Cattails, and then you also have the double sandals for the bug damage, and then triple lunge obviously should be able to take down aquas as well. And he does have double razor bite as well, running the rice at the back to finish things off. And you see this right here. Now it is 2 energy to the 4 of his opponent, but already the plant is down to 200 health, and with that he does go for the double lunge, which I think is not the best play. Maybe he didn't realize that his opponent is going to play as much shield, and that double lunge does not kill the plant, and he gets to play all of his cards: the turnip, the cactus, the cattail, and the Sirius. And now we are sitting at a 2 energy to 2 energy situation in round number 3, but the Goda and the sandal will be enough to take down this plant once and for all. Now it's currently round 4, and the double aqua player does decide to go for a double Nemo and an acro, but he still doesn't kill this dusk. It's left on 24 health, and he will lose one of those energies to the Goda, so we see how effective that Goda is. Now he does go for a piranha, which will finally clear that dusk, but he has to use 3 aqua cards to try and clear that dusk on the mid lane, which is not the most effective strategy, because he obviously would like to use the acro and the double scarab to try and accomplish that goal, because those cards deal extra damage into a dusk. Now you see another Goda coming through, so you know that the opponent cannot save any energy, and he does struggle to clear any of these dusks. And because he can't save energy, he has to attack into you, and when he's attacking into you, you get to play a Cattail, which gives you extra cards. Now you see the lunge coming through with the sandal and the Cattail, and that is enough to take down this mid lane aqua. And in the last round, the Kaku player just gives up, because there's no way he can beat a razor bite backlane using the simple aquas. Now in game number 2, Terzike is facing off versus a little bit more interesting team, and that is a triple antenna with one cute bunny at the front. And we see the antenna coming through in round number 1, which is not effective, and we see the spiky wing coming through, which is not something that you usually see, but he wants to get as much damage done as he can on that front lane dusk. We see a double lunge coming through with the Goda, and it looks like it is even in terms of energy, but the health is skewed a little bit towards Terzike. Now the crit from the double croc will be enough to finish this dusk at the front off, and let's see if he can get any Goda value. It looks like he will not be able to, but you see that razor bite at the end, that will do a lot of damage because he's facing double aquas again. Another Goda coming through, meaning that the antenna player can never save any energy, but he decides to go for double Nemo this time. Now Terzike didn't use a Goda to try and steal that energy. I think he's just waiting for the opponent to save up a little bit. He goes for Razor Bite to try and inflict as much damage as he can, and then the double sandal and the Cattail, trying to get some cards from that Cattail. Unfortunately, that does not happen. Now he goes for a Goda. He is not gonna get any value, and the Risky Beast together with the antenna will be enough to finish this dusk off. And it looks like it's going to be a little bit of a tricky matchup, right? Because now he's kind of started from energy, and he never got any Goda value, but this round he will get that Goda value finally. And when it's 3 energy versus 3 energy with Razor Bite, you will always beat an aqua on the backlane unless he crits with the Risky Beast. This should be all over. Spiky Wing to reduce that shield, the Razor Bite to heal up, and then the lunge right at the end, dealing massive amounts of damage even when it's not chained. One team that I really want this triple lunge team to face is a reptile at the back, and see how he deals with that, and we just get the opportunity to do that. Round one, he plays it slow for the first time. His opponent does go for the double beach and a sandal, which inflicts a lot of damage, 146. That's how much this Dusk has left. But with a sandal lunge, Goda lunge, he has 200 shield, so there's no way the opponent can kill him. And with a sandal from the mid lane, he gets rid of that Dusk in round number 2. Now, going for the Goda is a good play, because his opponent should be playing an emo to try and combo the Dusk down, right? And he does get that value from the Goda, so stealing that 1 energy always crucial. Because you just want to starve your opponent. You want to force them to play into you, and when they do, you play that Curtail, you get those cards again, and you can keep doing that until you win. Razor Bites coming through, 117 damage, and the Unchained Lunge is still doing 139, and your opponent can never save energy because you do have those Godas and those Rise coming through. So it's a very creative team that does force your opponent to do moves, and it makes your game a little bit easier when you know that he has to attack into you, and he cannot just wait and save those energies. Now, let's see if this reptile can do anything. He will always get Kotaro Bite value, because those Dusks are obviously quicker. Maybe playing a backlane reptile rather than the Dusk is an option, but I bet you that there's not a lot of them available. We do see the Spiky Wing, the Goda coming through with the lunge, so that you can get rid of as much shield as you can from that reptile. And with a Spiky Wing on the backlane, this should be an easy game for the taking, because the reptile can never put up a fight when there is a Spiky Wing in the play. It does go for the double Scaly rather than the Goda. I wonder which one deals more damage. It's probably the Scaly, and especially with the reason that you get more shield as well, right? You get 130 shield with that combo. Double Tiny Dino, actually it's getting close, 26 health left on that Dusk, and let's see if this combo is enough to take the reptile down. Spiky Wing, Razor Bite taking 200 of that shield, and then the Scaly to take the reptile down. But with the crit from Tiny Dino, this got really close. Now, talking about this team, let's see how much it costs in the marketplace. So at the front, we do have a Curtail, Goda, Sandal, and a Lunge, and there's 2 of these lurking about. So let's see how much they cost, and it looks like for a Dusk, the minimum cost that you have to spend on a Dusk like that is $350, and that's not even max health. Max health is $388. So that is on the expensive side, right? That is a lot on the expensive side. So you have to get 2 of these, which is about $800 at current prices. And then the backlane is a Razor Bite, it is a Goda, it is a Lunge, and we are already up to $67. So I'm just missing the back card, which is the Spiky Wing for the 0 cost, and let's see if any of them exists. And it looks like they do. For $330 you get a hair one. So which one did I miss? Oh, it's not Goda, it's what's the called, Rice. That's the card that I'm missing. So it looks like none of them exists for sale, but let's see how many of them exist in total. And there's only 1, so no wonder that he's doing so well when he has such a unique Axie, right? Well deserved to Terpsych for making use of that and getting himself to the top 1 ranking. That's always very fun to see when someone pulls off a unique Axie like this and he manages to make it work in a team that gets to the top rankings. And for the last game of this episode, let's see if a healing tank mid lane with a shrimp at the back will be a match for this team. Now, I don't think a shrimp is the best option, and the reason for that is because you have to wait for quite a lot of energy to pull a shrimp off, right? So when you try to pull a shrimp off, Terpsych will simply use the Godas against you to try and kill you that way, right? I'm not sure what the plan of the Curtail on the mid lane was. Maybe it was a misclick, but you can see round 2 shrimp coming through, and Terpsych does play 100 shield to protect himself versus that backdoor. He wouldn't have died anyway, so it doesn't really matter, but it's still better to keep this Dusk nice and healthy. Goda coming through, Rice coming through, and then the triple Scaly as well. That kills the Dusk, but it also damages the mid lane. Now, his opponent does panic a little bit. He tries to go for the heal, he goes for the bumpy, but all that Tersike is doing is just skipping this round and waiting for a better opportunity to strike. Now we see that he's going for bumpy against Scarab and double Cottontail, so the Rice was a little bit unfortunate. If it was later on or on a slower Axie, then he would have stolen that energy, but that's not the case, and it's currently 2 energy versus 4 energy of the opponent. And you see the Shrimp as well as the double Acro coming through, so that's the backlane Dusk finally dead for the first time in this episode, and Zigzag does heal a little bit, but looks like this mid lane Axie is probably enough to win this 1v2, and the reason for that is because he does have a good mixture of beast and bug damage, but also reptile damage to face off versus the Aqua, right? Playing a Goda here is interesting. You don't want your opponent to save too much energy, so that is always a good choice to finish your opponent off with a Goda in a situation like that. And now going for as much damage as he can while saving the Goda, right? He wants to go for a 4-card combo in the next round as well, while his opponent can only go for a 2-card combo because he already used all of his energy. So a 4-card combo right here will provide him with enough shield to save himself versus the Aqua, but also do enough damage to take this game down. I tried to look for a loss from Tersike, but it's very hard to find losses from this team as he's currently in the rank 1, so he had to be on a winning streak. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this team. I think Triple Lunge is insanely good in this season, and if you guys have enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Let me know in the comment section down below what do you think about this team, and subscribe to the channel for more daily play to earn content, and I'll see you in the next one.